Rap talk motivation, rap talk poetry. I thank you for tuning in to another episode, another live spoken word, motivation, self improvement. Let's come on in. Let's come on in. Pull up on me. Off top, what's your issue? What's your issue? We're going to get your issue today. We're going to get it up out you. What's your issue? What you got going on? We're going to break down what issues is. How do you resolve issues? I got my notes a little bit, so I told you we can organize when we get it right. What's fake issues? You know, some people do be over dramatic and just make up issues just to have them. We got that, as you know. So we're gonna hit the different levels of it. So again, I thank you for tuning in. Share the video to make the channel grow. We building. Off top, gotta get into this poem and piece. I got a couple poems, of course, I'm gonna do throughout the evening. Gotta talk that talk. Gotta talk that rap talk, right? That's what we're here for, just to mesh up poetry and conversations, self-improvement, just get things done. That's what we're about around here. Oh, you can't call in. Even though you might be watching on your phone, I don't know how you want to pull that off. If you just want to call in, or if you watch on a computer, you can definitely call in. Or if you just want to put in the comments what your issue is, we can do that too. But off top, the number is in the description. But I say it off top one time. It's 248-242-2947. That's the phone number. You can call in live if you want to get your issue. That's what we're doing. Rap talk, get your issue. I'm going to start the night off with a poem. Could be one of your favorites. Could be one of your growing favorites. You never know. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know what the message is. If anything, I want to leave y'all with the message of never being afraid to dream. These lights. I guess it's better to have them than not have them. I don't know if you saw that one episode the other day, the lights was going in and out, messing up. We got both of them today, trying to get that glare right, get my good side. But did. Never be afraid to dream. Y'all know how that go. Listen to me. As a kid, I spent a lot of time alone. Just me and my imagination. But you see, as I grew old and met more people, you see, I slowly started thinking with limitations. See, just because they tried, failed, didn't excel, see, that don't mean that you shouldn't dream, settle for simple things, and grow old with the same story to tell. Because see, as a man, you gotta work. Sometimes get down in the dirt. Have tough skin, opinions hurt, but most importantly, keep God first. And stop thinking in reverse. See, that's why the past is the past. See, that's why legs move forward, not backwards. See, everything's temporary, nothing lasts. But you can't be afraid to dream. Gotta think outside the box. Know your worth, never settle for what you believe, realize what that meaning is to never stop. Because see, we all here for a reason. Everybody is the author of their own truth. But you see, what's more important is the lies and distortion that some being selling to the youth. See, you can be who you want. Time, place, position. Just keep your eye on the journey and don't forget the mission. Pay attention to your vision, even if it gets blurry. You'll get your credit in the end. Just keep in mind that this is your story. So never be afraid to dream. Just don't stop while the world is moving. Baby steps. Long as you ain't where you were yesterday, ain't nobody losing. You improving. See, this is a movement. You the Malcolm and the Martin. And anytime you about to stop, just keep in mind why you started. So never be afraid to dream. Around the corner is your breakthrough. Never be afraid to dream. Watch where God and self-confidence takes you. Never be afraid to dream. Rap talk. Snap, 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 snap. What's really good? How y'all feel today? And for those that's catch this on a replay, hope you have a safe, prosperous, productive day. Yes, productive. That's why you have to throw that word in there. Have a productive day. Even when you text somebody in the morning, you know, you might hit them off with that good morning text. But say, have a productive day. Keep that on their mind so they can get something done. But all right, let's get into it though. What's your issues? What's your issues? Speaking of, let's start it off. We're going to start it off all right. I even got my coffee mug with me too. There ain't gonna be no coffee in it. Not my coffee mug. It's my coffee cup. Never be afraid to dream. Be sure to get you one. Link is in the description. Get all the products, all the merchandise. That's one way you can support the channel. Even if you sharing the video to make the channel grow. The Intelligence Sexy shirts. Pick these up. Share that, be beyond the movement. All that. Matter of fact, email me too if you got any of the merchandise. If it's okay with you, I'll put you up maybe in the community section or make a video out of it, or either one of my poems before or after or during. I put you on a clip somewhere, you know? I'll let it be seen, let it be known that, because the merchandise do be selling. I ain't saying it's flying off the racks like that, but I do get some sales, or we get some sales. And there's people out there with the merchandise, so email me. My email is in the description also. raptalktvquan@gmail. Or you could just remember that, write it down, raptalkgmail. raptalktvquan@gmail.com. You can also do that. Just send the pictures. Send the pictures of you in the Intelligence is Sexy. If you have to Never Be Afraid to Dream shirts, or whatever shirts or merchandise that you got, and put something together. Like I say, either show you on my community section, or maybe in a poem or so. I just flash the picture and revert a poem around it, so you can definitely be seen. I appreciate everybody that support. That's what's up. It's a slow grind, but it's a grind, baby. That's why you have to stay in it. You understand? So the topic, issue. Let's start from the beginning. What is issues? When you speak of issues or talk about having an issue, what is the issue? Is it a disagreement? Did that cause an issue? Being that you in a disagreement, did that make an issue? Was something bothering you, did that make it an issue? I mean, because there's different elements to this and keys to it, because those are two separate things right there. Because sometimes, okay, first that term issue, it do kind of started off, I gotta say in the ghetto, but it is like one of them hood terms. Like, I mean, the initial word issue is like when something is going on, maybe you have a problem, something is bothering you. But as far as when it came to the disagreement part of it and all that, like what's your issue? Like you got an issue, like what's your opposition of a situation to where you disagreeing with someone else to where you got an issue with it. More than likely, that's the bottom line of where the issue may come from when we're talking hood terms and we talking about disagreement. It's like, and then that word could be used so many terms and ways. And then you be like, okay, what's the issue? Like, elaborate. What are we talking about? So that's the issue we're talking about today. that's crazy how it could be a subject also. It's funny how I just said that because issue can actually be just a subject of a topic. So, but let's get to it. Now, where do issues come from? That's something to think about. Where do issues come from? Do it come from things as a youth? Let's just keep it real because some that may offend you may not offend me. That's the issue right there within itself because we all are different. We all have different thought process. We all have different upbringings and ways we were raised and things of that nature to where it be like, okay, I can handle this. Some people can't. Like you might have thicker skin than someone else and may look at things in a different light and feel like, okay, well, that bother you, but that it don't bother me. Like that don't phase me like what you're going through. So I don't have an issue with it. I don't have a problem with it. So on surface levels, that might be one thing that you have to think about. Like, where do issues come from? Is it your upbringing, family? Could it be some trauma that happened as a youth or even in adulthood? Okay, it kind of make me think like, okay, like, say for instance, how some kids and people think, well, we used to call it capping back in the day. We used to call it capping. That's when you crack jokes or how they call it doing the Joneses or Jonesing on people. Say for instance, like when we used to be outside and talk about each other and talk about parents didn't even know, like when people crack your mama jokes and all that stuff, which did become real sensitive later in life. Now, see those type of things that we did as kids and just having fun. Those were, it was just being a kid, just growing up, just like we weren't phased by that. You crack a joke, you talk about somebody, you can talk about somebody's shoes, talk about somebody's outfit, talk about their haircut, if the haircut messed up, it ain't blended in right. You got a messed up haircut, jerry curl, waves, whatever. I mean, any type of term that can just make someone laugh and you can, I guess, somewhat just talking about it. I don't want to use the word insult, but that's basically where we're going with it. Which as years turned, as time just went on, those certain fun things that we used to do ended up becoming a term that got turned into the word bullying. So as time went on and the world got so sensitive and people had an issue with it, and people were so sensitive and not had thick skin and couldn't take jokes, or not to mention some maybe hiding behind a keyboard and typing, and you got all types of opinions coming at you all from different ways from all types of different people. And they call that trolling too nowadays. Trolling when you're just trying to get a reaction out of somebody, triggering it. I know I'm kind of moving all over the place, but these are all the different things that come back to what I'm talking about, the word issue, how that people started having issues with the terms of us just having fun, innocent fun, talking about someone's clothes or shoes and how it turned into bullying. It goes back to what I just said a couple of minutes ago. Those things didn't bother us. But nowadays, a kid or a teenager or someone grown who didn't experience those type of dealings growing up, they can have an issue with it. They'll be like, okay, don't talk about the gray in my hair. Someone can really have an issue with that, or somebody can crack a joke calling you Grady or Gray Man or something, and you be like, oh, I got gray hair. You might be hurt or sensitive about it, or feel mad or feel a certain way about it. So then you grow up, you may, in the background, somewhere underneath, you may have issues with that. And I ain't talking about when it first started happening. I'm talking about as time goes on. Okay, like let's just say for instance, I just throw myself an equation. Or me just going bald. I may have went bald kind of earlier in life. Or some people do go bald earlier than others. And then seeing it amongst other people, they might have took to it like, I hope I never go bald. So let's think about those people who grew up to experience it. And then once it happened and you get talked about it, you talked about being it, I put it that way, it turns into so-called bullying or just you just have an issue with it. It's a sensitive subject around you. As far as body shaming, all that, it's so many things we can tap on and hit that it might be things that you experience or got a glimpse of when you was a certain age, but as you got old, it became more important to your life to where you like, nah, that's some bullshit. Don't talk to me about that. Don't talk to me about my belly. Don't talk to me about my baldness or gray or whatever. It could be those things that could just turn sensitive toward adulthood as time goes on because you had an issue with it. So I'm just calling it out. What's your issues? You got issues. We got layers to this conversation, but you got issues. You actually got issues if you got issues. If that makes sense. What y'all up to? That's just the introduction, but I'm gonna get into a couple of more levels of issues and how they could affect you. Or I'm definitely curious. I don't know who out there gonna be confident and speak on what their issue is, or who would call in and speak on their issues. We can handle it. We can handle it over here. It's all good. It's just a dialogue, some way to open up, speak on it if you got the issues. But that's where issues come from. That was my first. That was my first just piece about it. The first level of it. So where do they come from? Do they come from childhood? It's like conversation. You'll be surprised how many people can't have just a conversation without, how can I say, they can't have conversations without, listening to reply. If that makes sense. Which should make sense. Because there's a lot of people out there. You can have a conversation with them talking about one whole thing, but as soon as you finish, it's a but this. It's a but that. It's some extra every time. That comes from an issue of not being able to communicate. And there's some people who may look at certain conversations as if just because we disagreeing that, I'm right and you wrong, or you wrong and I'm right. Just because two people don't agree. That's not true also. I mean, it's something to think about. Think about it. What up, though? I'm getting to a poem of peace. I'm gonna do this piece I wrote. It's actually called Turn Back Moment. Listen to this poem of peace I wrote called Turn Back Moment. Because all of us have them. And it's a choice you make too. That's what a turn back moment is. It's a choice you make. Listen to me. The turn back moment. What's behind you is behind you for a reason. And what's ahead is ahead and you ain't touched it yet. But it gotta be something for you to believe in. I guarantee you, drowning in a pity party, dancing in that pitfall, gonna leave you empty inside. That's why you was given a vision. God came to get y'all. If you stop, it's over. Whether you was doing the least or the most. But the science is you was putting in the work and gave up when you probably was just this close. Ghost them naysayers. Ghost them friends. Ghost that empty house. Start fresh with a clean slate, less hate. Watch you move with less self-doubt. I know what I'm talking about. Turn that corner and watch what you see. A future. Don't turn back, because pushing forward is the key. The turn back moment. Rap talk. That's that poem of peace. I actually must have did that joint the other day because it's kind of fresh in my head. I kind of noticed that. I did that because I remember I was talking about the house and the key. But we all had a turn back moments. That's something to think about. That could be an issue too if you think about it. That can be an issue because some of us can have the issue of not letting go, or being stuck back and not wanting to move forward. That's a hard deal. We talk about it a lot, but it's really hard. It may sound simple, but sometimes it is hard to let things go. I mean, that's just real. I got this other piece I wanted to do too, because I ain't did this in a while. It was actually an insert out the book. That link is in the description also. This board is getting so rough. This board has been through so much. But you can get a copy of it. It won't get no scratches or nothing because it'll be downloaded to your phone. The link is in the description for this book also, for those that want to check it out. It's a book I wrote years ago. But of course, it still inserts in here and things that make sense, because we try to be timeless. It was a joint I'm looking for I wanted to read. It's called Read Fast. Let me look at the table of contents. What page it was on? 38. It's fairly small. It's only about 40 pages. About like 18 points, something like that. 12, 14. Listen to this piece I wrote though. And it's actually called Read Fast because you were supposed to do it as you read it. These were directions or instructions in the poem. I'm about to see if I can pull it off. Well, I know I can pull it off, but I'm about to pull it off real quick. It just been a while. Listen to it. Listen to me. That's why I listen to it. That's the first word, do it. That's probably why I second. We got the word it. Listen to me. I can do it, you can do it, nothing to it. Speak it fluent. If it's ruined, better fix it. Get your riches, dodge these bitches, reach your goals, fuck these hoes, love your soul, truth be told. When I'm old, string it past, kiss my ass, pass my cash. Count my math, teach my son how it's done, and my girl, they my world when I'm gone. Carry on, love your own, live your life, sacrifice. If it's right, think it twice. With your mind, you gon' shine, you'll be fine. Now repeat these lines. That was the poem piece. Just simple, straight to it. Now let me do it slow. I'm about to do it slow so you can catch it even better. I'm gonna do it slow this time. We got time. I'm gonna do it slow now. I can do it. You can do it. Nothing to it. Speak it fluent. If it's ruined, better fix it. Get your riches. Dodge these. Reach your goals. Fuck these. Love your soul. Fucking I'll cuss. I'll go back. I can do it. You can do it. Nothing to it. Speak it fluent. If it's ruined, better fix it. Get your riches. Dodge these bitches. Reach your goals. Fuck these hoes. Love your soul. Truth be told, when I'm old, strength get past, kiss my ass, pass my cash, count my math, teach my son how it's done. Thanks, Jamie. Nice flow. Teach my son how it's done. And my girl, they my world. When I'm gone, carry on. Love your own. Live your life. Sacrifice. If it's right, think it twice. With your mind, you gon' shine. Take your time. You'll be fine. Now repeat these lines. Read fast. That was the name of the poem and piece. What's your issue? We all got them. What's your issue, though? Put in the comments, what's your issue? If you're confident enough to do it, or you don't mind us elaborating about it. We all got issues. And another thing I want to cover too is, how do we resolve issues? I mean, we should be about solutions over here, of course. I definitely want to be. How do you resolve solutions? Like, what's the best way? Like, when it comes to having issues, like, are you passive aggressive? Are you one of the ones that ignore and just let it go away with time? Do you just avoid the person? If it's a person, that's another thing to think about too. Most issues, are they more people related, or is it kind of things that can just happen too? Just happen also. Like, I guess it could be both, because issues can just come out of nowhere. I ain't gonna say this out of nowhere, but when issues happen, they can come across you and amongst you to where it's like, man, that was just gonna fucking happen. Like, say if you got car problems, it's an issue, but it's like there's no person you can point the blame to. It's just something that just happens sometimes. Sometimes you just jump in the car on a good winter morning, and and the car just not gonna turn over and work. That's the issue. But when it comes to person on person issues, though, how do we resolve them? Like, what can we do? What's the method? Like, how do we cope? Just think about that for a second, though, before I get it. I mean, Think about that. But I'm getting to a poem in peace while y'all think about that. Because that's one thing I want to tell y'all too. Life is full of contradictions. Let me find that piece. Oh, I got it. I had this one nearby because I wanted to do this. Because life is full of contradictions. Because we judge so much. Jamie say, my issue was personal related. You want to elaborate? Jamie Ballard, if that's okay. I got a phone. You can call in too. The number is in the description if you want to talk live on the show. Jamie Ballard. I'm start calling you JB. I know that you've been popping in sometime. I'm gonna call you JB. Is that all right? Jamie Ballard. It's all kind of funny to say your full name, but I'm gonna start calling you JB. I noticed you've been popping up on some of the lives and some of the shows, which is cool. I appreciate you. If you want to call in, let me know. I can have you on air and you can speak your piece. And I mean, or if you want to type it, that's cool too. But if your issue is person related, if you want to get it out, you can get it out today. But I'm gonna do this poem of peace while you think about that. Because life is full of contradictions. That's one thing I can say. We do a lot of judging. We do a lot of thinking if a person doing a certain thing that they're supposed to go that way and just stay that way. You know, people change. It's like if I'm doing these motivational videos, people think I'm not supposed to. I can't have no wine if I do motivation videos. I can't laugh, crack jokes if I do motivation videos. Can I do that? Is that all right? Do I gotta wear a suit to be taken serious if I'm speaking motivation? I mean, life is full of contradictions, everything. But listen to me though. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? An accomplished soul, or one in a bubble running from reality? Who do you think for? Why is life we choose? Why this life we choose? What makes you believe everything that they say gonna happen after this life? Matter of fact, who gave you them views? Life ain't fair. You see some kids born rich with privilege. You see me, I was born in the ghetto poor and was forced to be religious. Keep the faith. Just don't be a free thinker. Surround every corner with churches and liquor stores so I can become a smart, delusional drinker. I hate your opinions, but I'm still gonna listen. Getting a short end of the stick, having to sacrifice my whole life is how I formed this decision. I don't need you, but I submit the power. God, take my soul when I leave my flesh. Life is full of contradictions. Life is full of contradictions. I'm about to do that one again. I ain't read that one in a minute. I got so much material. You come visit me, I know when people come visit me, they just be seeing paper somewhere everywhere. Not to mention all the poems I do off the top of the head. But I got a lot just written. I'm about to do that one again though. Because life is full of relationships. We love each other, but I'm afraid to be vulnerable with him. That's what Jamie West, you say. You love him, but you're afraid to be vulnerable around him. Well, we can look at that multiple ways. If you're afraid to be vulnerable around him, is that really love then? I mean, I definitely appreciate you for sharing that though. But I think that might be one thing you might have to ask yourself. Do you really love him if you're scared to be vulnerable around him? Because love think you're supposed to feel safe. Supposed to be able to go there, be able to open up and be vulnerable, catch them moments. Do you trust them? Obviously, you probably don't trust them as much if you feel you can't be vulnerable. But of course, in love, it do kind of be lopsided most of the times. One way love, somebody loves somebody more than the other person. I mean, I'm gonna say it's sad to say, but especially with just two people, somebody's in love a little bit more than the other person. You may just be in love a little bit more than he is. So that's probably why you feel like you can't be vulnerable. So I'm gonna do this piece one more time though. If you want to elaborate some more, write it in the comments. That's cool. We can talk piggyback off of it. But let me try this one again though. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Accomplished soul. Yes, I do. I need to work on my communication. It's the way I was raised. But that's the issue. That's the issue. That's the way you was raised. But it sounds like you kind of like you saying two things now. JB, which one is gonna be? Because you saying you want to, but that's the way you was raised. If you want to do it, you're gonna do it. But I understand you feel vulnerable about doing it. But it sounds like you can't be yourself a little bit too. That's what it sounded like. So that's why I'm saying which one is it? And that's another thing too, when you're in love, you can be yourself. But of course, on the dating scene and all that stuff now, you can care for somebody and still not do certain things because we live in a world, a lot of people might want to protect themselves or hold on to when the moment when they know it's right. That's like if a man loves a certain woman, he's going to ask to marry, like if he plan on marrying that person, he's going to ask at the right time when he think she's going to say yes. If that's his initial goal. I don't think he's going to ask her to marry him when he's not ready to be married. Well, if you do, that's just insane. You jumped into my point. I had to look at it because I didn't want to miss it go by. But let me get it in. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? An accomplished soul, or one in a bubble running from reality. Who do you think for? Why this life we choose? What makes you believe everything they say gonna happen after this life? Matter of fact, who gave you them views? Life ain't fair. You see some kids born rich with privilege. You see me, I was born in the ghetto poor and was forced to be religious. Keep the faith. Just don't be a free thinker. Surround every corner with churches and liquor stores so I can become a smart, delusional drinker. I hate your opinions, but I'm still gonna listen. Getting the short end of the stick, having to sacrifice my whole life is how I formed this decision. I don't need you, but I submit to power. God, take my soul when I leave my flesh. Life is full of contradictions. Life is full of contradictions. That was that poem of peace. Yes, it is. Contradictions it is. Over and over. We change. Can be told one thing. Level to your life may change. Your opinions may change. Your perspective. The issues at hand. As JB said, or anyone else, things just change. Let's have a little fun though. Oh my god. All right, he's talkative. I'm not. I definitely love him. I want to communicate, but I get tongue tied. He's so smart and intelligent. Well, you say you want to talk. Just let it out. You know, it's different ways to communicate, don't you? And I hate to go down this, JB. I don't even want to. I don't want to do this to you, but I mean, I'm gonna do this to you because you watch it. But listen, and especially by you being a woman, I take it you're a woman, Jamie. Yeah, you did say you want. You say him. It's other ways to communicate, especially when you care about somebody or like somebody. You don't have to be talkative. If you say you talkative, but he's not talkative, the best advice I can give you is whatever it is, show him. Show him. Because the talking don't that ain't shit anyway. This is 2023. The talking that ain't. That's why I say I hate to be raw with you like that, but the talking ain't shit. It's about what you do to show your love or whatever it is. I mean, we hear it all the time. Everybody can speak about it, but we live in a world where you have to show it, especially from a man. I'm telling you from a man perspective. I don't want to get Kevin Samuels around this around this joint, but listen here, you got to show it to a man. They got to see it because I mean, all these terms and love is a manipulative word. I mean, so to say. I mean, just relax. Let's tell me where I'm about to go with this. I don't know how we got over here, but since we got here, we about to go there. Using that term, saying that term, how people use the word love in conversations and all that. Most of the time, what are they doing? They're doing it from a perspective of how can I say, like trying to calm someone down or speaking on love. I mean, when you say that word, what do I do? Show him how. I mean, you say you get tongue tied. You gotta show your love. That's just it. Show your love. If you care about him as a person, show that you care. If you care about how he dressed, speak on. I mean, I don't want to say fashion. You know, maybe make sure he eat. I mean, everybody like food. I mean, like I say, show your love, or take him out sometime. Take him on a date. Be like, okay, I made these plans. I mean, showing is being assertive. That's what showing is, not just talking about it. Like saying, I said, like the point I was just getting at, saying I love you. You can say it, but you have to show it in a matter of going that extra step, showing that you care. The same way you might do for certain people around you. Like if you know they're in need and you can help them with something. That's coming from a place of not asking for nothing else. You did it because it was straight up love there. But I think you'll be all right though. Whatever the issue is with that, just don't talk about it and then you ain't doing nothing about it because the man will definitely see that. He's gonna pay attention to that. The same way, vice versa. If he told you that he loved you, you gonna be saying, okay, I hear it, but show me. The same way how you might have a DM full of about 10 other men trying to take you out on a date. That one man that you chose to go out without all them other people, he was being assertive enough and he showed you some type of way that he was worthy of going out with you. And you made that cross decision to accept because he showed you. He didn't keep just typing and saying it. He didn't keep just shooting in the DM and saying like, okay, I want to take you out over and over and over. It was something that he did because he could say a lot, but it was something he did. I don't know how he did it or how he got around it, But it went from the DMs to going out to whatever, to now you in love. But just don't use the word love all over the place, because I told you, it might sound harsh, but that's a manipulative word, and some people say it more than they really mean it, especially nowadays. It's all over the place. But I'm getting to this poem and piece, though. Just want to have a little fun, loosen up a little bit. That kind of took me there, too. Let's go back. It's for my 80s babies. I got this poem called 80s Babies. Any 80s babies in the chat right now? I'm talking about born in the 70s, but raised in the 80s and the 80s. Okay, thanks. I don't want nobody but him. Okay, right. Fingers crossed. Go on and handle that. Make sure he know. If you don't want nobody with him, the way to do that is just show him that you don't want nobody with him. Don't entertain other men. Don't talk to him about other men. Don't let him hear about male friends or all this other stuff that, make it on, focus it on him, and he'll definitely feel secure about it. He'll feel secure with himself that, okay, she about me. And include him and stuff when you do stuff. He'll get the point, because he'll be like, okay, it's about me. All right. This piece called 80s Baby. I'm going to take it back with y'all. For the ones that's out there that lived through their preteens in the 80s. See if y'all can go back with me, remember some of these things. Remember Saturday mornings when we used to watch cartoons, eating cereal, arguing over the channels. My favorite was Looney Tunes, Schoolhouse Rock. We argued so mama wouldn't complain. 12 at noon is a family meeting as we gather around a TV to watch Soul Train. Learn the latest moves. Then it's time to slide. Lotion up my legs, pull up my socks. I hear my friends outside. Neighborhood crush. Blush as she played double dutch. Circle around the block one more time on our bikes, hope they notice to talk to us. Or just stand there froze. You see, pose like I'm cool as a must. Young without no money, but we still yelled out ho for the ice cream truck. Friends together. You see, we walked to the park in bunches. Getting cussed out by old ladies because we walking on their grass with our summertime free lunches. Walk past the drinks. Bobbing and weaving through the reefer. Hoping my family don't ask me to dance again because they sitting on the porch with the house stereo speaker. Loving my childhood. But why do we want to be grown? A whole lifetime can happen in one day in the ghetto before the street lights came on. A Saturday I conquered. A Saturday I feared. Life as an 80s baby. These kids have no idea. 80s baby. Rap talk, that's that poem piece. Snap, 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 snaps. Let's loosen up a little bit, take y'all back. Man, can it all be so simple? Free lunches, watching Soul Train. Okay, what you mean include him in what? JB, man, you want a consultation? Jamie Ballard, you want a consultation? Snap, 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 appreciate it. Yeah, I got you one more time. Jamie, just include him. and showing him, okay, that's the same way as me as a man. If I tell you, if I don't include you in things, but I tell you I'm going out here, I'm going out there, and I do all these different events and things, and I don't tell you about you, obviously you're not that important or this high up on the list. I ain't gonna say he's on the list, but it's things that it's not about you as much as you think. But even though everybody still want their time, just include them in things that you do. Like just say like, okay, well, I got us tickets for this event. If you down, let's go. You know, don't be like, okay, I'm going to this, and then after it's over, you be like, well, the other day I went to this and whatever, and you telling them all about it, and you didn't include them or didn't have. Not saying that you got to include them in everything, but it's like you just going out busting moves and having fun, and he's not involved. So include him in your schedule and things that you do. But all right, issues. We didn't broke it down. We didn't broke down where issues can come from. What is issues? How do we resolve issues? Maybe the last one. This might I don't know if this is controversial or not, but some people have fake issues. That was another thing I had on my list. Issues. Some people can have issues on their mind that's not even really real issues. I mean, believe it or not, it comes with the. Now, this go two ways now with the fake issues. Because on one hand, it can come from a perspective of people having issues with you because they making them up because they hating on you or they don't rock with you or they not dealing with you. So they're looking at you like, okay, I got an issue with them. So they might just come up with something petty just to not, how can I say, just to not rock with you or just to let it be known that, okay, well, I know I don't mess with this person, so I'm gonna just create something to where it's tension, and like I said, that's a fake issue. When you got issues with somebody, say like it happens all the time, definitely at work and at jobs. When people have issues or like I say, fake issues. Some people probably barely even know each other, but they might tell someone that okay, like it might be the simplest things like like that person on the line don't work as fast as everybody else, and they might be like, oh man, they be over there playing, like they be over there acting childish or something, and they be like, okay, well, they can create an issue to where they don't have to deal with that person, which it could be valid to some degree. You never know what it is and how important it is on somebody's scale of what the issue actually is. But at the same time, it's people that create issues in their own mind and their head just because they just don't want to deal with them like that. And that could be relationships too, also. Like for instance, in some relationships, people do stuff like that. They come up with things to make it so that you know things aren't as solid because they got an issue with certain things that they do. So they might be like, that ain't it. You ain't the one because I got an issue with that. I got a problem. That's what issues is. As we broke that down during this whole videos, issues can be something bothering you. Some issues can be disagreements. Issues can be hating. Those are different levels of issues. But it's all about the different combinations of the relationships. And I ain't talking about this male or female. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about work related. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about all these different facets. It can be so many different levels of how you want to break it down. So I just wanted to get to the root when I said all the other things as far as where do issues come from and how can we resolve them. But I hope we clear that up though. So if you got some, matter of fact, you can tell me some of the issues that can bother you. You can put those in the comments. The issues that can bother you, instead of the issues that one may have. Speak on the other ones. But I'm gonna get into one more poem and piece though. Rocking out with y'all though. Tuesday and Thursday. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock. Eastern time that is. I don't know if you're on the West Coast or Pacific or where you at, down, bottom, south, but East Coast, Eastern time, 6 o'clock. Poetry and conversation. And today the topic was just what's your issue. I gotta do something Thursday for hip hop too, because we did just celebrate the 50th anniversary for hip hop. So I gotta include that in here somewhere. But let me get into another poem and piece though. Be sure to get your merchandise, get your shirts. Intelligence is sexy. School back starting. These would be beautiful. I would love to just see this on college campuses somewhere, everywhere. Just students running around. Intelligence is sexy. That'd be a beautiful thing. That'd be great. I want to get into this piece called Enjoy the Journey. Let's go there. Because amongst your journey, you're going to have issues. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have problems and things that may come ahead for you to have to pick and choose and make decisions. I'm talking about hard-nosed decisions for you to just get through. It's going to be things like that. I'm going to leave y'all with this piece, though. Enjoy the journey. Listen to me. The leaves come before the trees. Don't forget the roots. And everything has its beginning. That's what we learned as a youth. And the truth is, it ain't no shortcuts. It's hard turns, roadblocks, detours. Everything's hard earned. Listen to me. If the model to follow was the same, there'd be no change and there wouldn't be no reason for me to stay in my lane, but I maintain. Study my peers, open my ears. Listen what's being told and I face my fears. Gears turn in direction for me to reach my highest. I do it from the heart because for my people I'm biased. Your seminars and workshops are not worth my time. I rewrite and research and probably start mine. I'm good with my hustle, my struggles, my image. Do what I love until God says I'm finished. I love what I do, so bullshit don't concern me. When it takes time and effort. So enjoy the journey. You must enjoy the journey. Intelligence is sexy, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like the video, share the video with somebody, text it to somebody, put it on your socials, however you want to do it. Share the video and make the channel grow. That's the only way we can build. And that's how we gonna build. The machine, if they want to push positivity, they're gonna do it as time goes on. That's the way it works. I get with y'all on the back end, though. I get with y'all Thursday, though. Appreciate y'all. Rap Talk.